Ladies and gents, welcome back. Europa Halo Blackpool. Quadrant just won the best of 7, 4-3 to reset the bracket. Now we have to do it all over again. I'm Joe Sketch here, joined by TchiK, and TchiK, could have been any other way that we end this event.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only way that we would have wanted to end this event, although the clock is starting to run a little bit short, so we do have an update coming out from League Ops that we are going to be shortening this best of 7 towards a best of 5 instead, just to wrap things up and speed it up as well. Here's the current map view. We are going to be kicking things off with Argyle CTF as our opening map, Slayer Aquarius, then it is going to be Strongholds on Recharge, Oddball Live Fire, as well as Slayer on Recharge should we ultimately need it, and part of me feels like we're not good. Watching has been on point in these slays.
Yeah, now only 3 wins needed for either team. Everything's reset, everything back to 0-0. CTF Argyle being our first game of the grand final reset. Oh my days, TchiK. So many Halo action, so many games we've managed to see today. And to end it with best of 7, going into best of 5 is just the pinnacle.
Exactly. Pinnacle of esports right here, 4x4. 4v4 by the shore. Wouldn't have it any other way as we are loading into Argyle. CTF has been a bit of a mess between these two teams as well. We saw it a little bit earlier on Pits. It was NaVi's for the taking overall. Can they do it again right here on Argyle is the main question. Can they bounce back after taking the L just a couple of minutes ago?
They did win the CTF Argyle when these two teams played in the winners finals. So they do have that notch in their bout. And it's just one of those games where the snipers can pop off. We can see great, brilliant sniping action. And again, as I said before we went to a break, getting this first win in the grand final reset is just crucial to bringing that momentum in your favour.
Exactly. Glory, he has got 7 shots in the S7 and narrowly got decapitated by SLG just moments ago and scampers out of harm's way. Just to readjust, resets, and there you have it. Immediately catches TchiK right in the visor.
Nice shot there from GloryGGz. Opens up the map a bit. Allows him to get to the halfway point. Still with a sniper rifle in his hand. Still with 6 bullets as well. No heads from Quadrant met just yet. Legend's getting loud off to the side, and you can see why. Gets a double kill. Now suddenly Glory left by himself. Sniper rifle with SOG to contest with. He's cleaned up. Quadrant making their way towards NaVi's base.
It's also very often that I've actually seen Wonderboy step up and have a chat with the lads as well, following that full reset, that full team wipe. Now Quadrant, they're really starting to actually hit NaVi where it hurts worst.
Now, for a second, the flag out for Quadrant. TchiK in a position to try and play spoiler even. Flag on the move once again. Snipes coming through from SLG. And whilst that's going, both flags out. Jimbo in a tricky situation. Taken down by SLG for the triple kill. And flag on move for Quadrant.
Huge play coming out from SLG. Unfortunately, the timer ran out for the over. Snipedrone is gonna, unfortunately, be the party pooper of that sequence altogether. But Legend's still an active threat that they have got to take into account. Successfully dodging a couple of shots. No connections found for Legend. And he will be forced to rotate. A fresh set of S7s. Spawn in just a couple of moments. Good pre-placed nade, but Jimbo does manage to get out of harm's way. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Mighty nor Jimbo.
Kills in favour of Quadrant. Map control in favour of Quadrant as well. Legend has to contest once again. Glory for the respawn. Snipedrone there. Not quite allowed to get this flag just as of yet. They need to get a few more slays before they can get that one moving. But Sniper in the hands of Legend with 1 shot left. He's cleaned up. So defense is there from NaVi. Resets the map. Both teams need another set of slays before they can push up.
Yeah, Snipedrone doing a good job to keep Sica under control. And he's going to take a moment to catch his breath before heading and emerging back out into the open. Has picked up a repulsor in his back pocket, and he will join in on the fun. Take down Legend, easy peasy. And narrowly got caught with his behinds. Smacking around, 2 more players directly above him. Couldn't quite dodge them. Sica and SLG in tandem with one another. They both collapse, find a frag apiece. And now Glory, S7 connection is good, but it's missing that lethal punch.
This is all in defense. Now Glory in a tricky situation. Has the sniper rifle, but has himself in back base. Just waiting for Quadrant players to push up on the map. TchiK gets another kill. Flag on the move, just momentarily. A nice shot from there from Glory, stopping any push forwards. Jimbo gets a double kill off screen as well. Defense is strong for NaVi. SLG still in contention to get something done. Sniper rifle potentially off the map. Does get the shots he needs to, not cleaned up. But nice prioritization from SLG, realizing he's not going to win that gunfight, so does throw the sniper off the map. Only one left in play, and it's in the Glory's hands.
It was a bit of an awkward exchange between SLG and Glory with the S7 in both players' hands, but at the end of the day, NaVi, they still get one of those sniper rifles out of the hands of Quadrant. For the time being, though, Glory is still looking to potentially catch one of these Quadrant rotates in the middle of its making. Still, though, no attempts at a flagpole for the time being. Both teams vying for map control, and the kill feed is starting to see a little bit more red than blue. TchiK. Domed. Oh, SLG. He's also the next to fall. Glory! Living up to his namesake. He's basking in it.
Glory single-handedly taking down 3/4 of Quadrant, and now he's got the pressure towards the side of Quadrant's map. New sniper rifle ammo stolen away from Quadrant. Just needs to reload that sniper in his back pocket. Slay's going in favour of NaVi, which allows Glory to push up towards the map. Spots Sica, opting not to grab that flag just as yet, until he gets the kill. Now flag on the move. Only one player really in position to stop, but Glory's deciding just to run this one as far as possible. Allows teammates to get the slays they need to.
Yeah, good 50-50 choice made on the decision for the left or right lane, and this should be an easy carry all the way back home. Just like Neo, he dodges those bullets. Take the flag with you, buddy. He does get caught out, but there is someone back in home base, zMightys. Make sure that it will be brought back home as NaVi lock in the first point on Argyle.
But now pressure definitely in the hands of Quadrant for a counter cap. They have map positioning, they have a sniper with TchiK. zMightys has one of his own though, tries to get some shots on the Sica, doesn't get the kills he needs to. But Quadrant still don't have the slays all in their favour to push up on this map and grab a flag. TchiK just trying to pick any players from Quadrant, but Jimbo knows where he is. Nice shots from Jim, and TchiK has to relocate.
Yeah, not really given any room to make any plays for the time being. So I thought I might have to hold my tongue for a second. TchiK opting to mobilize a little bit further, migrate to a different part of the map. But yeah, NaVi, they're being so evasive. They're not giving TchiK a single opportunity. And he gets peppered up. That's the S7 fallen to the enemy.
Glory playing out his mind right now. Only one positive on his team, getting as many slays as possible, almost single-handedly getting away with it. But as I speak, Snipedrone gets a sniper of his own as well. Flag is on the move once again for NaVi, and with a sniper in the hands of Snipedrone, he will have to stop just for momentarily as zMightys is taken down. Doesn't connect with a shot, but still alive. Still plenty of bullets. Make that only one left. But all of his teammates around him, they're pushing towards this flag.
Oh, nice little snipe coming on through. Despite the fact that he has the QT active, another one is about to spawn. He locks in a double. Still one more shot left for him to play with. And he's going to go back up to top mid. Just waiting for somebody to maybe get overzealous, a little bit greedy for that QT. He's willing to be patient right now. NaVi, as a whole, are willing to be patient. They're fine with just letting this clock bleed and have it work as a fifth player in their favor, because Quadrant, they're the ones that cannot afford to fumble any longer.
Glory also has a sniper rifle of his own. Snipedrone still with one in his back pocket. But Quadrant, they have to be reactive. They have to be the team to challenge NaVi. NaVi happy just to sit back just momentarily, absorb the pressure, wait for the pushes of Quadrant. All 8 players on the map. Sica first one to blink. He gets taken down in the trade, but trades will support and help NaVi right now because they've got the flag advantage.
Glory looking for an opportunity, missed. However, he does line up the body shot, won't be there to collect it. That kill credited, I believe, to Mighty instead, and he will claim the enemy S7 all to himself, surprisingly enough. So correct me if I'm wrong, but now NaVi, well, they had 2 S7s to play with. Now not so much. Sica's going to recover one of them.
He's quite sneaky though from NaVi. They've done that twice in this game. Didn't get away with it though this time, zMightys. Sica picks that one up. But still a lot of map to move towards getting a flag grab of their own even, is Quadrant. But Slay's going in their favour. Sica still with this sniper rifle. Only Jimbo Glory left alive just momentarily before Quadrant can get a move towards the base.
Good nades tossed on through. Glory doesn't actually catch the brunt of it, but he will get pummeled and tag team down. QT now active for Sica, and with all 4 dead on the side of NaVi, this is the window that Quadrant need. They will pull that flag. It is Sica to provide some kind of coverage, but we need the rest of the team to start chiming in. That flag will finally, it actually hasn't been tapped for quite a while. Now it's being escorted all the way back, and eventually Sica will lock horns, but out of harm's way, he just teleports right back out.
Excess slays could be crucial as NaVi pick one up against SLG, traded back by TchiK. That flag still in contention. The return does come in. Great prioritization there from NaVi. That is a huge return, and with only less than 4 minutes left in this map, it's so tricky for one team to get towards the other team's base. Quadrant do the tricky work. Getting that flag out. Jimbo gets a no-scope as well. Falls off the map. Here's a moment there just whilst he's on respawn to appreciate that one.
If you're going to go out, do it in style. Jimbo, you got some points off of me, buddy. That one really looked pretty sick. And Mighty, now with the secondary S7, not exactly having the best CTF of his day, of his weekend so far, only 7 and 17, but that's okay because the rest of NaVi, they've been there to pick up the slack. Mighty, with a remote debt, will secure Lqgend. He's going to be left scratching his head. How on earth did that happen? But with a window of opportunity, that's another dead added to the tally. Quadrant, they're starting to struggle. They're starting to trip over as NaVi, they've pulled the flag and is well over halfway back home.
Yeah, NaVi getting hot right now here on the main stage. Another snipe coming through from zMightys. This flag is almost home. zMightys being protected for his teammates. Should see the 2-0 scoreline with only 2 and a bit minutes left. It's such a tricky spot for Quadrant to get back into this game, but it's made even more harder because zMightys still has a sniper rifle.
Yeah, and he's back in his comfort zone. I might have been critical about him a little bit earlier on, but he has definitely stepped up in the last 60 seconds. Glory! Ooh, came super duper close, but he is not out of harm's way just yet. He can stand his own ground though. Glory with the QT. Pick up the S7. Show me the money.
Double beat down from Glory after using that QT. What a play. And NaVi, they're getting absolutely hyped right now on the main stage. Glory still with 3 shots left. What a game he's having here in the game 1 of the Grand Finals reset. 18 kills and 8 deaths. Still with 1 shot left from sniper rifle. Lqgend narrowly avoids the bullets of Glory. Sniper now no longer in his hands, but still 2 flag caps for good.
Definitely so. And with that lead, only 120 seconds left for Quadrant to rectify the situation. I fear that it might not be enough time. Steam is good. Sayonara, Sica. Sayonara to all of Quadrant. There's just TchiK left standing. NaVi, they've got so much room to play with, and I feel as if Quadrant, they might have just slammed their heads against a concrete wall that they can't break down.
Yeah, that concrete wall is definitely Glory's as well, because he's got 20 kills on the map right now. What a game he's having. But Snipedrone trying to play sneaky. Oftenly we see him in this situation, just trying to be the first person to make that push towards the enemy base. Quadrant, they can overextend, but Snipedrone just doing his job, being a nuisance, playing his life towards the end of Quadrant's base. Yeah. Quadrant's going to grab this flag, but Snipedrone just needs to find some shots, just play his life maybe a bit more, maybe grab that flag and be a distraction for Quadrant.
So we're no stranger to seeing Quadrant speedrun a couple of CTF Aquarius games, but I'm not exactly sure if those skills actually translate right now. But look at what's going on screen. They successfully open up the door. Home base is secured. That should be a flag cap ready to go, and it will be locked in by Quadrant. They get themselves on the board, but now it's crunch time. It's mission critical. 50 seconds left to play with. Can Quadrant stick it out?
You can see the sea of red pushing up this map, but zMightys trying to make the stop towards it. Trades, they're going to favour NaVi right now. Jimbo's cleaned up. TchiK, SLG left alive towards this mid-side of the map. Teammates spawning behind them. One more push left here, Tudor, on game 1. This sniper rifle could prove the catalyst for Quadrant, but he can't get the shots he needs to. TchiK picks him another one. Still with 1 bullet left. And you've got Quadrant players towards NaVi's base. Jimbo's cleaned up as well. Killing spree comes through from SLG. They might be able to grab this flag, but only 15 seconds left. They've got to get a touch.
Indeed, and unfortunately SLG is nowhere near enough to be found. Lqgend, however, he is, but he's getting harassed from back base. He needs to at least touch the flag. He needs to get it off of the home base to force sudden death. SLG, that mantle responsibility is yours for the time being. We've entered sudden death, but NaVi, they hold down the fort. It's just too insurmountable. They are indomitable on Argyle.
They get the slays when they needed to. Tudor, the defense strong from NaVi. The 2 caps they had, so tricky to come back into this game with. And it was a statement almost from Glory himself in that game, just popping off that sniper rifle.
Exactly. He was, I want to say, probably a little bit pissed off after the first run through of the grand final. And now he really lets his fangs show. He really showed us exactly how much grit he has as a player, and that was probably one of the best performances we have seen from him throughout the entire weekend on the main stage. That's going to get the boys up. That's going to get himself hyped up overall, and they're definitely going to be carrying this into our next map. Yeah,
NaVi, they settled the nerves. They went down in that first game in our best of 5. They went down in the first grand final reset, and now they win our first game of best of 5. Only 2 more to lock in before they win our whole event here.
Aquarius Slayer is going to be up next. Then we are definitely going to be moving on to Strongholds on the recharge. Slayer, as we've mentioned time and time again, is a bit of a struggle for Na'Vi. Quadrant, they know it like the back of their hand. It seems as if they have no issues when it comes to just fragging out.
But at this point in the tournament, the team's going to get tired. Momentum's not going to be the same as it was early doors. You know, they played a lot of Halo this weekend. They played a lot of Halo just today.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a bit sluggish. Maybe their mindset's not in the right place. Quadrant, they have won. And now I believe it's three of the four Slayers that these two teams have played.
Yeah.
But Na'Vi, they've got momentum. They've got the hype on their side.
Exactly. Despite the fact that we've been here for, give or take, 10 hours, Na'Vi, they've still, well, got themselves in fighting form. Although it is 3, now all 4 players dead within the opening 20-ish seconds for Na'Vi. Not exactly the most, substantial of kickoffs. Not exactly an ideal starting scenario for Na'Vi. And now Quadrant, they're just going to run with it. That's what they do best.
Yeah, Quadrant, Slayer just seems to be something that clicks with this whole squad. 7 kills already just to the 2 of Na'Vi. TchiK playing his life. He's already got 5 of those kills. No deaths, just as of yet.
Yeah.
And it just seems like wherever Na'Vi are going, they're spawning just as a 2, not as a team. And they're getting collapsed on.
Exactly. We have to wave goodbye to Glory, and that QT will be activated in the back pocket of TchiK, so he has a lot of potential bamboozling to do for the time being. Na'Vi, they are trying to mount at least some kind of offensive towards this section of the map, but it hasn't really worked out. Actually, I might have to hold my tongue. Mighty's worked his way on through, but he gets traded off. TchiK with a 2-piece. He will get out of harm's way, narrowly escaping with his life, and that QT really putting in some mileage here.
And 8 kills to 0 now for TchiK as well. The rest of his team's only got 7. He's got more kills than his whole team combined. What a start to this game 2 we have. Now, Na'Vi stuck towards blue base. All players falling, killing frenzy as well for TchiK. I mean, if you're going to lose game 1, the best way to answer back is getting a killing frenzy in game 2.
You know, calling TchiK a man who is built different really doesn't do it justice. He is constructed alternatively. He is just an entirely different beast so far, already in the double digits, out-fragging the rest of his squad combined.
Out-fragging the whole of Na'Vi is 18 to 6 right now. Na'Vi's stuck towards red base. They finally push out, but all towards the guns of Quadrant. Finally, TchiK gets taken down. But he takes one of the Na'Vi players with him, and all of Na'Vi fall once again. Only 2 kills back, 22 to 8. This is reminiscent to Snipedrone back in the day when they went 22 to 0 up against Optic Gaming, and he said the game started. And right now, Quadrant, they're saying to Na'Vi, lads, the game started. You better up yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Pick up the controllers. Why are they down on the desks? It doesn't make any sense. Na'Vi seemingly not present at all whatsoever. Jimbo finds one before being traded off, and Na'Vi collectively will hit 11 kills. But Quadrant, they've already surpassed the halfway mark, doubling that score count. Lqgend is good for another. The thruster not enough to get Snipedrone out of harm's way.
26 to 13. Quadrant with such an insurmountable lead almost at this point. Momentum still in their favour as well. Game settles a bit, so finally, Na'Vi, they can breathe for a second, but only for a second, because 2 of their players go down. And now Quadrant, wherever they go, they just seem to soar as a team. They can almost push because they can't lose right now. Finally, Slayers go in favour of Na'Vi, but 13 kills to mount back, and only a 20-kill game left for Quadrant. It's so tricky to get back into this one.
Exactly. The scoreline says it all. Na'Vi, they're actively getting smothered by Quadrant. Left, right, and center. That nade does so much damage. Snipedrone, I don't recommend eating lead on a daily basis, but he is going to have to try to actually find some impact with this heat wave. Up he goes, hopping, looking for the high ground. Nothing to be found. He does eventually collect TchiK. That is a good start so far, but now he needs to ramp up this aggression if Na'Vi are going to close up this gap.
Yeah, Na'Vi trading some kills together, though. So they have slowed down the bleeding just momentarily. Heatwave off of Snipedrone's hands as he falls down to the respawn screen. The Quadrant right now, just all they need to do is trade Tudor. They can just run the rest of this game, just trading ins and outs. Obviously, they won't want to do that. They want to win it in fashion. But Na'Vi, as I said, they have stopped beating slightly, but it's still a 9-kill game.
I mean, for Quadrant, even if you get it done with Statacular, that's still one damn good fashion trend that you can set for yourself as a team. And like we said a little bit earlier on, the Slayer trend has only becoming actually more positive for Quadrant. They've been dominating Na'Vi at every single twist and turn. The scorelines have only been getting that much more dominant for them. Keep in mind, the last time these two teams played a Slayer, which was just about 20 to 30 minutes ago, was 50 to 38. And we're rapidly approaching that potential conclusion yet again. But Na'Vi, seemingly with a heartbeat, they are starting to bite back.
Yeah, and if I'm listening to the stage as well, Quadrant, they're loud right now. NaVi settled a bit, not got the same hype they had in game one. That's just because they're so caught in tricky situations right now. Mighty does back away with that QT. Plays his life once again. SLG trying to push up the map right now. Trying to see any of the NaVi players who are all down low. Get some shots towards these players. But doing well to work as a squad. Yeah. Get the trades they need to. But even though it's still getting slays towards NaVi's favour, it's still a 6-kill game.
Indeed it is. Hopping on with Mighty right now. Good double kill already collected for him. And he will use that QT to try to relocate himself. Does have the upper hand on that fridge side. And that is just Nate Central City. Spam out a couple, but he does receive the brunt of those frag grenades in response as well. Spotted out TchiK towards the home blue base, but he's already since faded back into the shadows.
Quadrant back towards blue base. The collapse has got to be a strong one from NaVi. Just biding their time, trying to get the picks they need to. See if they can fall towards the side of NaVi. But once again, Quadrant backing away. NaVi just relocating. You can see on the screens right now, Mighty just trying to see a different angle to challenge. SLG plays his life. And it's so tricky because NaVi, they want to collapse, but if they do so and just get trades, then Quadrant, it plays into their hands.
Exactly, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now for the time being. Mighty will eventually answer with a kill of his own in response to the initial 2 that Quadrant put down on the table, but it's just really, really tough for NaVi. Whatever Quadrant is putting down, NaVi don't seem to be picking up that much.
Every slay that Quadrant get is absolutely high from the main stage, but at one point this was a 14-kill game. Yep. Now only 4. It might be a little too late for NaVi, but the slays are going in their favour.
Yeah, they
Suddenly, Tudor, it's only a 2-kill game when we get into the crunch time of this one.
We might have been wrong for our skepticism. NaVi looking to prove us and everyone else wrong, as Lqgend will trade off Snipedrone. Sica claims Mighty. Glory has the active QT to dodge and bob and weave his way back out. Still the gap set at 2 for the time being, but Jimbo's in hot water. He's gonna have to move mountains to get out of this one, but it's SLG instead to claim it all.
Big double kill there from SLG and plays his life. At one point was only a 2-kill game. That double kill opened up the map for Quadrant to collapse on the rest of the players from NaVi, back to 5 kills. And now only 2 away suddenly. The collapse could come in. Snipedrone and Jimbo, the last 2 players alive for NaVi. Trying to work as a tandem, but Snipedrone might get caught out here. Heatwave, shots towards Snipedrone. He's still playing his life, but he's going to get collapsed on right now. Yeah. Finally cleaned up for Quadrant. They tie up our series here. 1-1. And now both teams are only 2 wins away. It effectively becomes a best of 3.
It does effectively become a best of 3 right now. We are running out of options. We are running out of opportunities. The room for and margin for error right now is at an all-time low for both of these 2 teams.
Yeah, and Quadrant, if there's one thing we can take away from these, what now, 10 games we've played? No, 9 games we've played between these 2 teams. Slayer, they definitely know and got it locked down. So if this goes to a game 5, potentially a scary time for NaVi. We've got 2 OBJ games in between them.
Yeah, exactly. So now we are going to be moving over towards Strongholds on Recharge for our 3rd map. And then afterwards, we will guarantee to see Oddball on Live Fire as well.
Yeah, at least guaranteed. Potentially Slayer on Recharge to close things out. What I will say though, Tudor, bit of stat, bit of trivia. Okay. Winners finals, Slayer Recharge, 50-37 to NaVi. So potentially, maybe they got a bit of confidence. But Strongholds, we said it before in the Grand Finals reset, when these 2 teams locked horns and it went to that best of 7, went to game 7. Strongholds for Quadrant, something just works as a tandem, clicks as that whole unit, and they're just so powerful. It was 250-18 last time these 2 teams matched up.
And that was on Solitude just a little bit earlier in case if you all missed out on that map, and we're just going to head right back into the action right now, kicking things off with Strongholds, excuse me. But yeah, as you mentioned, this should be fairly breezy for Quadrant. NaVi likely going to be, well, once again in the backseat, kicking and screaming on the struggle bus.
And almost as well for NaVi, knowing that Quadrant is so good at Strongholds, that's in the back of their mind. They're not going to play the same way, or something might be a bit sort of niggling at the back of mind each time they're pushing towards these Strongholds, knowing that Quadrant are just so good at this game type.
Yeah, indeed they are. SLG looking to recapture this lost B side, and the shock rifle has yet to be touched directly above him. Contestion coming on through, and that's Snipedrones to win. That's absolutely massive for NaVi. It means that they hold on to the majority for the time being, but once again, Quadrant, they're back with an instant response. The moment that NaVi gets something going, it just seems to be dismantled time and time again by the French.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure NaVi had the slays they needed to there, but Quadrant just pushed back through off of respawns, get the capture of B, and you can see Sica right now trying to clear out this turbine side of the map. Jimbo should be taken down. A not captured just as of yet, but he's got a teammate off for spawn. Glory, last one alive, was capturing B, but because he's in such a tricky situation, instead of just dying, he's trying to relocate, maybe group up with his team again and try and recapture that B point.
Now Quadrant and NaVi trade A and C for the time being. B still hotly contested and about to be converted. Sica's got something to say about it, and he does reset the progress as well. That's absolutely massive for Quadrant.
It's just so scary how these guys fly across the map on this game mode. AB still controlled by Quadrant. A lot of, let's say, feisty words being exchanged on the main stage right now. But Snipedrone trying to stop the bleeding momentarily. Triple cap no longer in effect, but B and C still in control of Quadrant. So it's on to NaVi to push up the map.
That's the last thing that you want to see on your POV. Just suddenly you blow up and erupt into blue flames and you're just like, yeah, shit, I've been stuck. Not fun.
Yeah. And Quadrant get a reset on towards B as well. So C and B in their favour. And the points slowly ticking towards getting that 250 margin. But they're not opting just to hold and rest on their laurels. They want to push towards his A side. Mighty's weak, trying to play his life towards back of the base. He's taken down. And now Quadrant may clear out this A side of the map. Might be a triple cap momentarily, but C is being captured by NaVi.
At least free real estate right now for Quadrant. C will be converted. That does work out in NaVi's favor just a little bit longer because they can, I mean, typically from watching their Stronghold matches as well over the course of the online season through the summer and spring series, they do tend to favor those B and C holes just a little bit better. But we'll have to see exactly how this plays out. Snipedrone cut in half by that Whirlpool side. Lqgend also to provide a little bit of extra coverage, but somehow Mighty and Glory, they've just slipped through the line of defense.
Tricky bickies for NaVi, but they finally break that A hold from Quadrant. Sica opts to run away, regroup with his team, play his life for just a bit longer. Now in a challenge of Snipedrone. Decisive challenge, that one-on-one, gets the win he needs to. Is cleaned up, but NaVi, they finally get a hold of this B hold, stronghold, big 1 versus 1 on the A point. Reset comes in from Mighty's. Finally, a bit of control on his strongholds for NaVi.
Yeah, crucial backstab that Mighty's was able to employ right there to get rid of the last couple of pests that were plaguing that A site. That will allow NaVi to start building up a little bit of progress to try to close off this gap. Look at the overlay. So many of these Quadrant players, they're down on the lower levels of recharge. One of them does slip past, but Jimbo immediately taps on his head. Glory chiming in with one of his own kills. 2 more rounds to play with for Jimbo in this shock rifle. The only player, by the way, who's also got himself 10 kills so far. Can he find number 11 is the big question.
Quadrant opting to divide and conquer right now, trying to capture one of these 2 bases. 2 players towards tower, pushing towards A. The other 2 trying to push towards B and fight in pipes. Jimbo trying to play spoiler, does get the shots onto SLG. Nice reaction from him. Killing spree also as well. Nice reaction onto Sica. Double kill. And the slays go in favour of his teammates as well across the map. That's 4 slays uncontested for NaVi. An extra seconds ticking away in their favour. And the triple cap now going in their favour as well.
Indeed, everything is going perfectly on rails for NaVi. Jimbo, he's a lean, mean killing machine, and Quadrant, they might have just converted A, but that's just a consolation because Jimbo, with that camo, with that grappling hook, he can close off the gap so rapidly and basically go for a gut punch right where it hurts Quadrant the most.
Nice. Trying to play his life right now, Jimbo. And Quadrant don't know where he's gone. The grapple hook, great, straight towards A. He doesn't get the trade he needs to. That would have been a massive slay if he did. But Snipedrone picks him up. A and B control from NaVi. They take the lead in this game for the first time. And off the back of Jimbo's plays, but the thing is though, Jimbo had to go massive, but Snipedrone's done exactly the same. 2 slays for him, double kill coming on the board. Reset should be coming towards B, but whilst B's being contested by his teammates, he's jumping towards A C even, sorry, to recatch one of his home bases.
A Herculean effort coming out from Jimbo. Pure heroics enables the rest of NaVi to make the best out of what started off as a bad situation, because we thought Strongholds by default are Quadrant's game mode. Nice stick coming on through as well. That gets, well, SLG off the playing field for the time being, and Quadrant, they do start to stabilize. They've got the majority right now, but A is once again getting contested. Is there a response unit nearby? Jimbo! Wonderboy, what have you fed this man for breakfast? I need to know.
Triple cap now in favour of NaVi. I was about to say, what do Quadrant have to answer back? It seems like it's Jimbo with the shock rifle. Everyone is getting loud. Can he hit the next headshots? No, but C and A both being contested right now by Quadrant. A captured, but the collapse comes through. Sica's taken down. Shock rifle still in the hands of Jimbo, and he's 17 for 6 in this game right now. Triple cap, no longer in effect, but double cap, A and B in favour of NaVi.
This is absolute crazy. He's got the grappling hook. He can safely recover this active camo, slap it on his chest, but no, he doesn't activate it. It hasn't been burned either. So that means that it's up for grabs. Quadrant, they could potentially utilize that as Glory shuts down one extra player.
I don't think TchiK knew. He turned away, he didn't grab it. Potentially that one's off the map unless one of the NaVi players can go and grab that. But whilst this is going on, A and C, they're being traded right now. Strongholds still in favour of NaVi, and the seconds are ticking away, and Snipedrone's trying to push the advantage right now. Should clean up TchiK.
Yeah.
No, sorry, SLG, but TchiK was there to help him out.
Mighty ducks away back into the shadows, and now TchiK is really starting to feel the heat. B will be converted back into the favor of Quadrant, and they're going to start closing off this gap. 72 points separates these two teams currently. A Snipedrone, well, he starts to pepper up TchiK a little bit. Shots exchanged as well, and now TchiK might just have to forfeit some of this territory. Jimbo collapsed upon having the game of his night so far, and he will be traded off.
Mighty's getting that slay. 4 down for Quadrant as he pushes towards A. B also being captured, so nice collapse from the blue team. It should be A uncontested here from Mighty, so triple cap momentarily. C is going to be recaptured, but those seconds once again ticking in favour of NaVi. They've done such a good job of reclaiming both A and B after going onto the spawn screen. Normally see Quadrant hold that for longer, but they just push straight out, get the kills they need to. Right now, Mighty's getting the slays he needs to as well, and rotating towards the home base of Quadrant, putting pressure once again back on the red team.
A will be converted, but unfortunately for Quadrant, their efforts are for naught. Detective zMightys, he's on the case right now, and he will successfully cap C as well. Batteries is in hot contention as well. Can the Disruptor find something? Oh, right up and personal. Small little ball tap with that plasma nade.
Yeah, but 4 down for NaVi and Quadrant. They're collapsing on the home base right now. Could be a triple cap once again. Scary times for NaVi, who are in the lead of this game. A potentially not even captured just as yet. Finally gets locked in. So one stronghold to the good, but Quadrant still in control of both B and C and in control of the map. Potentially even the camo. As you can see, SLG opting not to go for that one. Maybe a teammate that grabbed it, but either way, playing his life to perfection. Finally grabs that one.
Oh no!
No, he doesn't. Doesn't
What?
get the camo, but it just for the Glory, who does get taken down. So that one's off the map.
Yeah, good intel being relayed back towards Mighty so he can basically douse the flames right there. Lqgend is going to be traded off on top of that. B is still getting contested. Jimbo is a bit of a nuisance in Quadrant. They do end up dealing with him, so they still hold on to the majority, but they have to be everywhere at the exact same time, Quadrant. C is also being contested.
But it's not going to go through. Reset comes in from Sica. Despite not getting any of the kills there, does his job. NaVi, once again, having to be the reacting team. Glory should be cleaned up with a trade. And Quadrant, they're just so scary. At one point, this was almost a 100-point game, and they just flip a switch, get the controls they need to. Be in favour of NaVi, but both home base in favour of Quadrant.
Yeah, wonderful frags coming out from Sica as well to put a leash on that B side. It will be contested yet again, and that should enable some kind of offensive to be mounted for Quadrant. I do see a little bit of a blue mark coming on through towards that C side. The triple cap is in full effect, but the contention means that you're only racking up points not twice as fast, just the standard rate. Snipedrone towards that heaven position, narrowly about to get flushed out, and luckily enough for Quadrant, Sica's on the case. He's got that long angle on lock.
And Quadrant retake the lead at the 200-point mark. Now down to the final moments of this game. Who can get the slays they need to? Looks like it's a team in red. zMightys in a position to potentially do something massive for his team. Finally, the ANC goes in favour of NaVi. They still have a chance in this game. Shock rifle in the hands of zMightys. C has been converted off your screen. Big 1 versus 1. Does fall to zMightys. Nice double kill. His team needs to react to this one to go towards B. But there's Quadrant players with prying eyes who are already pushing towards A.
Oh, goodness gracious. What has zMightys gotten himself into? Nothing but trouble, it seems, as Glory will eventually secure a trade onto TchiK. But this response is once again immediate as Quadrant. They're about 25 points away from locking this in. It feels as if Nautis Venser might not be able to get themselves the majority yet again. Quadrant, they've hit their stride. Everything is going in their favor right now. They just have to play the defense and let NaVi try to muster everything they have to mount some kind of comeback. But but I don't see it happening. Never mind. A is being converted, B is also being converted by Quadrant in response. Now NaVi hold the majority, but the active camo coming in clutch.
One more push for NaVi left in our game 3. But Camo of SLG just trying to play spoiler towards his B side of the map. Just playing his life to perfection right now. Only 2 points needed. B no longer contested. Snipedrone gets in there the last second. And he just be able to convert that one to 248, 189, make that 190. Nasus Vincere have control, but once again, Quadrant, they get the Slays, they get control once of the map, they're capturing A. C's not going to be in a position to be able to potentially be converted. It's still there though, Tudor.
It is C. It will turn blue for the time being. 2 more points. I feel like I'm getting slapped across the face with deja vu because we saw this in the summer finals. This exact same scenario. 2-point difference, all the Quadrant needed, and they might just be able to lock it in right now. 249 and counting. And it's done. NaVi brought the goods, but still, Quadrant is the king of strongholds.
Yeah, NaVi had such a strong mid-game. They took the lead, got up to 90 points to 110 of Quadrant, and then Quadrant just somehow just come back in sync with each other and take the lead towards the 200-point mark, had the ascendancy in their favour as well. And just towards the end, it looked a bit scrappy. NaVi finally got control of 2 hills, but 248, and Quadrant outslaying. It was only a matter of time before they took that game.
Exactly, and unfortunately for NaVi, the Grim Reaper did come knocking on their door towards the very tail end, and yes, they were able to buy themselves a couple of extra seconds to try to, maybe get a miracle going in their favor, pull a rabbit out of the hat, but it simply put wasn't enough. So Quadrant, they do take map number 2. They do reestablish a lead right here in the best of 5 grand final reset. And now they are threatening NaVi by taking what could be rightfully theirs. Keep in mind, NaVi, they might have been those born to win, but it might not be their destiny tonight.
Yeah, ladies and gents, if you're NaVi fans, they need your help right now. They're only 1 loss away from losing this grand finals. So channel your energy and pass it towards NaVi, because they're only 2 games away. But Quadrant only need 1 more win going into this oddball live fire. It could be all done here now, Tudor.
It definitely could be. The players have loaded up. We are going to be transitioning into game momentarily. A best of 3 rounds. We saw this a little bit earlier before the reset initially hits, and it was really damn tight overall. Can NaVi do it? Hopping on board with Sica for the opening couple of engagements. Jimbo will immediately be the first person to find the kill feed. Sica with a response, and Jimbo got his hands on the S7, but he is traded off.
Early doors in this game. ZMightys with control of the odd ball. Both teams trying to not be the first team to blink over shield. Definitely controlled here by NaVi. But the side of Quadrant, potentially not too sure what's going on there, but either way, ZMightys still holding the odd ball as things are going.
Seems as we have had an Xbox crash, unfortunately enough, on the side of Quadrant, so we will get that fixed relatively shortly. Not too much of a bother either way, but still.
Yeah, I think it was roughly about 4 or 5 points when Quadrant stopped playing there, so.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Lqgz have confirmed that 5 points have been already locked in for NaVi, if I'm not entirely mistaken. So Quadrant, they need the full 100. NaVi only needed 95 to get the dub.
Yeah, but it's pretty much a reset, isn't it?
Yeah.
The start of this one. Now both teams back in the lobby. All guns firing. Odd ball in the hands of Quadrant off the start of this one. And NaVi need to answer back.
Indeed they do. Overshield, now a hot priority for both teams. Quadrant, they do have control of dummies, and Sica's going to shut one of them down. Jimbo actually gets away somehow. He gets away with daylight robbery, slaps that OS onto his chest, and now he can wreak some havoc.
What a play from Jimbo. Oddball thrown off a map. That's reset towards the middle. Big 1v1 against Lqgend. Jimbo gets the kill with the help of that OS. Now rotates back towards his teammates. Protectors in the favour of NaVi. Sniper also in the hands of Snipedrone right now. And the rotation's good for Jimbo. He's trying to try and get towards that green side of the map, but he realises Quadrant are outside right now. So he just needs to get his teammates to get the slays before he rotates that oddball.
Tied up as a score for the time being. Quadrant hesitant to make a move, clearing out that mid portion of the map, and Snipedrone will have to meet them halfway. Oh! Nice fadeaway shot, but he does eventually get traded off. Now Lqgend is the next to fall at the hands of zMightys, but he's all on his lonesome. He has to try to reset this ball, play it, hold on to it. all on his own until the rest of the team joins back in.
Want to play for Mighties, but that oddball's still not off the map. Both teams deciding, do you know what, I don't want to play this oddball, let's reset it. SLG gets the shots under Mighties. He's been cleaned up there as well. Slays in favour of NaVi as the ball gets reset on the map. They have a slight lead in this game, but all eyes towards that overshield up in 13 seconds.
Fresh oddball, reset, down in that dirt tunnel side. Snipedrone might be baiting to make the first move for the time being, but obviously the overshield is much more important. Smoke will be dropped, and that should prompt Mighty to claim it all to himself. Lqgend nowhere near enough to contest, and Snipedrone is a happy little sacrifice for that overshield to be, well, claimed by NaVi.
Yeah, Mighties did die there, though, so I'm not too sure if he managed to pop that overshield before he got taken out.
Ooh,
Either
true.
way, though, SLG with control of the oddball. TchiK in enemy territory, just playing his life as best as he can. Drops down bottom middle to re-challenge any players from NaVi. But what is going on? Mighties, he's pushed up towards SLG. Although SLG has the oddball, caught in a tricky situation, trade comes through. But Quadrant still with their cells on this side of the map. Jimbo left alive for NaVi. He's cleaned up as well, so we should get some extra seconds.
Yeah, for a hot second, that was all 4 dead on the side of NaVi, so this is going to be a lot of free progress right now that Quadrant can build up in the opening round of Oddball. And now Sica's willing to mount the offensive. Heatwave is good for 1 connection, but he needs a couple more. It's good on the bank shot as well. Mighties will be eliminated for the time being, staring back at the respawn screen as Lqgend is looking to duke things out. Jimbo can't get that job done. And the S7 is once again online in the center of the map, but NaVi, they've reclaimed the skull all to themselves, and Snipedrone, he's looking to turn up the heat. He will be shut down, though, by SLG, who finds not 1, but 2.
Great rotation there from GloryGGz. Does eventually throw that oddball off the map. Despite his team getting outslayed, he managed to move that ball towards an area where he can reset this game once again. Quadrant with a small lead is a narrow one, only 13. They're first of the party, though. Lqgend rotating his ball towards his team.
Over towards the bridge it goes, and up the staircase towards the top of that sniper's nest, most likely. 50 points and counting, the halfway mark has been achieved, and, well, SLG doing what he needed to do in that instance, just serve as a distraction. I did see that glowing little orange thingamadig in the middle of the map, so that could potentially be, ooh, stick coming on through, trade as well. Glory now with the S7, tucking the corner. This shot coming on through, can't find the head of Sica, can't find the second shot either, and it will be Mighty's from afar to clean up the pieces.
And I'm pretty sure the overshield's in the hands of Quadrant. And whilst this is all going on and the ball isn't being touched, the seconds are ticking down. Finally, the Slays go in favour of the red team. They're rotating this ball towards tower, the most optimum setup on the map, and a bit of overshield left with Sica. He's going to be the first line of defence.
62 points. It's getting rough and tough right now for NaVi. They have one hell of a gap to close off, and Lqgend can basically just put the controller down and chill. Green gun also finds a little bit of impact. I believe the oddball has just been played. Reset, thrown off the map, and Jimbo's in the prime position to just pick it up. Not exactly the reset the Quadrant would have wanted. NaVi were more than happy to just pick it up. They were ready for it on top of that.
Yeah, Snipedrone playing anchor there as well, allowing his teammates to spawn around tower. Also blocking Quadrant from spawning there as Jimbo rotates this ball towards the garage side of the map. Quadrant have their eyes there. I'm not too sure why they didn't rotate back towards tower. Maybe there was some pressure on the map I didn't see. Either way, gunfight's going down out towards the outside yard of this map. Trade's going either way. Lqgend somehow staying alive. I'm pretty sure he got stuck, maybe through a nade to escape from that sticky. Either way, they're getting loud. They have the oddball control they need to. They're rotating towards garage.
Yeah, he might have not been credited with any of those frags, but it doesn't really matter because Quadrant, they're going to be reaping the rewards. That entire sequence pays massive dividends, and there's so much time left over. And all of these bodies, Quadrant, they can just throw all of their team members towards NaVi because they've got such a substantial lead. NaVi will eventually get 2 hands on the skull yet again thanks to Glory, but obviously you've got Lqgend hunting him down. A nade will be propelled backwards, and that skull has been stripped out of NaVi's cold dead hands, pushed even further back towards green, and TchiK, he can basically just chill for the time being. NaVi, they've been outplayed.
What a relay there from Lqgend on the side of Quadrant. They're also getting the slays they need to. They do throw that ball off a map, so it's going to go down to bottom middle. Sniper in the hands of Lqgend for about 0.3 of a second before he falls. Overshield now being contested by both teams. Isn't popped there just yet by Snipedrone, but Mighty's picks that one up. He's grabbed that one. Oddball also in the favour of his team as well, but they're only 12 seconds away from losing this round 1.
Yeah, and Mighty's going to go and hunt down the rest of these Quadrant players. Finds the head of SLG. And now he's going to try to take out all of the players inside yard, but unfortunately he's completely exhausted that overshield. He can no longer get as aggressive as he initially wanted to. But that is free time that he has bought for Glory to hold on to the OBJ. 11 points, close off the gap, and that green gun, it just chews through Jimbo. And he's going to have to take a step back, but 3 more points in NaVi. They've tied this one up.
Right. They're coming through. Oddball should go off the map. 90 to 88. Next set of slays. Next grab of the oddball potentially could be it. SLG gets one. ZMightys also gets another. Sniper now in the hands of the Frenchman. Rotates towards the oddball. Just get the no-scope as well. And rotates his oddball back to his team. That's a huge kill. Finally going outside the map, opting to throw that oddball down because he's got the power weapon. Any spawners from NaVi right now could get blamed. Glory's opts not to challenge SLG, just trying to rotate that oddball back to his team.
Oh,
These
no.
seconds could be huge, though. And Jimbo
No.
gets the slays around him.
No.
NaVi get all the kills they need to. And it's going to be round 1 in favour of the blue team. NaVi go 1-0 up in this oddball.
I hate to say it, but SLG might have just handed NaVi that round of oddball on a silver platter. Didn't maintain Overwatch with the S7 over that skull. And NaVi, they were more than happy to oblige. They confirmed the last couple of points that they needed. And now they're properly riled up. 2 players already dead for Quadrant. The oddball being moved off thanks to Jimbo. TchiK trying to duel from range. But it's just really not working out. SLG eventually does clap back.
Glory in the power spot. The sniper rifle gets a shot onto Lqgend. Nice snipe right there. Just trying to be Overwatch for his team.
Oh,
Gets the no-scope on a Sica as well.
huge.
But OS still in play. Can he hit the headshot he needs to? Shakes yes he can. Takes him out as well. One more player. That's Lqgend. Not quite hitting the shots he needs to, but he's going massive with that sniper rifle, allowing ZMightys to pick up the SOS.
Exactly, because of the fact that Glory got the shout screen as it was being deployed. It didn't hit the overshield, and that allowed the NaVi side to claim it. But Quadrant, they are back with a vengeance. They've nearly wiped the entire floor with NaVi. They've got the skull. They've got the majority of the pieces that they need. 1 point might separate these two, but it's still early doors right now in this second round.
Their Quadrant rotates that oddball towards Garage. Only Jimbo really in position to do anything about it. He gets a trade. So 3 down for NaVi, but 2 down for Quadrant. But most importantly, they still have control of this oddball. Seconds slowly ticking back in their favour. 22 to 9.
Full reset of the oddball coming on through. SLG looking to relocate as Sica's just been dispatched of, an even trade between him and Snipedrone, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Pummel coming on through, and Glory, he will get the better of that exchange, but the trade is instantaneous, as it usually is with these 8 players in the server.
Once again, Quadrant trying to move this ball. Sica just trying to watch Overshield. Snipedrone in position to potentially grab this one himself. He's cleaned up. ZMightys and Glory right there as well. Opting to try and get the slays they need to before going towards this one. Sica might try and grab this. It's daylight robbery right now. He managed to get this OS and get the full shields onto it. Take down Jimbo. Get the shots onto Glory as well. He's backed away. What a play from Sica by himself there. Opts to jump down the smoke and grab that overshield before making a push with his teammates. Stays alive as well.
Might have only experienced the benefits of that overshield for a glorious 5 seconds, but it was more than enough for Quadrant to get that advantage, the one that's necessary. ZMightys finds one with the heat wave. Still 6 more shots. Definitely 2 kills can be found, potentially 3 if he lines them up perfectly. Glory holds onto the skull, and silence falls upon live fire, but eventually it's going to erupt into chaos yet again. ZMightys to make his move, and he will get propelled narrowly off the map. Eventually, he does give TchiK a taste of his own medicine, teaching him a lesson for trying to get goofy around here.
2 versus 2. Snipedrone and Jimbo versus Lqgend and Sica. Raids once again going out for both teams. And after dust settles, Sica grabs this oddball. He's got teammates spawning around him as well. So seconds ticking once again back towards Quadrant. NaVi spawning other side of the map. They've got to do that long push before we can challenge the oddball once again.
Nice frag coming out from Lqgend as well. He's going to ramp up the aggression, knows where Snipedrone is, and he needs to act on that intel fast because Jimbo is also harassing Sica. That was the oddball carrier, now completely dispatched. ZMightys and Glory to join in on the fun, and this should be NaVi's OBJ for the time being. They dispatch of TchiK as well. Lqgend just far too late to the contributions right now for Quadrant, and that could be costly.
Nice kills coming through for NaVi. Sica though, trying to space Ploiler right now. versus Jimbo. Jimbo opting to get some extra seconds. Glory back up on the map. He's taken down. You can see the players at Quadrant. They're trying to swarm towards Jimbo, trying to get some oddball time. But right now, both teams just trying to get the gunfights they need to before they can pick that ball up.
Still a couple of red silhouettes lingering about. Overshield will be popped by Mighties, and that is absolutely massive. May as well just let Snipedrone take that skull, and now he can mount the offensive and try to stop Quadrant, bring them to a grinding halt within their own spawns, and he's going to move over towards this Raj side, towards green, spots out one player towards that bridge side, but he's getting called for assistance. Snipedrone will get traded off at the very least. Overshield is still good for a couple more seconds, and he just needs to try to make the most out of it.
Nice shots from zMightys, but he's left alone by himself. Gets the kill towards TchiK. 50-50 the score. Only 50 seconds and NaVi away from locking this back towards a best of one effectively. 2-2. zMightys trying to rotate this back towards his team. He does have Heatwave in his hands. Slays in favour of NaVi. As Quadrant try to push towards him. And the fact that we've seen zMightys not contested with this oddball for, let's say, 10 seconds or so, just shows that NaVi and the rest of his team are slaying around him.
Good trade coming out from Mighties as well. It's going to buy NaVi a couple of extra seconds, and they still have that play potential should they want to reset it, and I think that's exactly what Snipedrone wants to do right now. So all of Quadrant's efforts have been for not to try to fight for that ball. Glory about to take down Lqgend, trying to not expose as much of his body as he could have, but yeah, just didn't pan out right there. And eventually Quadrant, they will get the ball back on the reset, but they can't afford to put it down, not while the gap still exists. Snipedrone consistently dueling, and he finds the both of them as well. That is huge for NaVi, as it's all down to Lqgend.
Massive win there from Snipedrone. Now can the oddball. Has Lqgend to contest with, but also has teammates to back him up. Trying to play his life as best as he can. Doesn't get the shots he needs to, but Lqgend also cleaned up. 79-55 in favour of NaVi.
Oh.
Slays going across the board for both teams. So no one in position really to grab this oddball. As zMightys trying to find any players in Quadrant who've pushed up towards it. But no one's in a position to contest right now, so he opts to just grab some extra seconds if he needs to, or maybe just stop that oddball from resetting. But whilst this is going on, there's a battle of a sniper rifle towards top middle.
Exactly, and Mighties is completely fine with it, because Jimbo has the overshield. S7 may have fallen into the hands of Quadrant, but at this certain stage with 3 players dead and just a couple freshly respawning, the time, it's working in NaVi's favor. The score has narrowly reached 100, 2 more seconds, and we will have NaVi take a clean sweep on oddball live fire.
2-2 in the series. Best of 5 as well here in our grand finals reset. So it's all going down to the final game, Shooter. Slayer is going to be the one which settles it all.
Indeed, and that's going to take place on Recharge on top of that. We just saw Recharge a little bit earlier on. That was Strongholds, but now, obviously, we're going to be going to one of NaVi's crutches, and I don't know how to feel about this one.
Wow. We did say before, NaVi did win the Slayer on Recharge last time these two teams played. It was a long time ago I said it, and they probably at the start of this best of 5 even. So 50-37 that time round in the winners finals. Maybe that's in the back of mind of Quadrant. I doubt it is. They've played so much Halo since then, they probably don't remember.
Probably. But there isn't any other way that I would have wanted this entire tournament to go, you know? Blackpool 4v4 by the shore, the full distance we've seen. How many maps have we seen in total between these two squads alone so far? 7, and now this is the 12th map that we're seeing right now, right?
But also 5 in the winners finals, 17 overall.
17 maps, and we still can't tell either one of these two teams apart. So, once again, Blackpool, I'm going to have to be a little bit of a cringe commentator. If you want Quadrant to go ahead and take this one to themselves, let me hear you.
Oh, a bit flat
if you're still in the NaVi camp, well, make sure these guys know it as well. Glory does go down. Unfortunately, NaVi freshly wiped, but they do need you guys' energy for sure.
4-0. Brilliant start for Quadrant. And the fact that they're so good at Slayer now as well, having a start just like that in our best of 5, that's just going to ride momentum for Quadrant. It's going to be feeling confident right now if I'm a red team player.
Indeed, Lqgend narrowly thread the needle onto Jimbo towards the very end of that pipe tunnel side. And he is going to relocate, migrate a little bit further down. Has caught out Glory, who somehow thrusts his way all the way out. Sica will shut down Glory, who's unfortunately sat on a goose egg, but we're only 11 kills into this Slayer game so far. Quadrant off to a banging start right out of the gates.
It's good we got that match update. But Quadrant A 2-2 against NaVi.
Yeah,
No,
couldn't tell
you
otherwise.
couldn't tell it at the top of your screen.
Nope.
You saw it on the right hand side of your screen. Game slowed though. SLG just trying to see if any of the players from NaVi will poke their heads out and make the push towards him. He opts to back away. Right decision. 2 players from NaVi towards that tower side of the map. Just going to be relocating with his team. At this point, Tudor, best of 5, last game for all the marbles.
Yeah.
It's going to be a slow affair to start off with because no one wants to be the first person to die in those initial engagements.
Exactly. He's going to move at a glacier's pace potentially. Jimbo, yeah, now thinking twice about wanting to expose himself, knowing that SLG has got this weapon of mass destruction active and online. Almost scalped Snipedrone on top of that, but fades away, luckily enough for him. And now NaVi definitely not willing to show too much of their hands.
Shock rifle still in SLG's hands. Very slow moving game of Slayer so far. Both teams not really wanting to make that first move. Eventually, Slay's go in favour of NaVi. SLG answers back.
Ooh.
By himself with his shock rifle. No challenge really coming in as of yet. Grappling, trying to get out of his situation. Maybe waste some ammo with that shock rifle as well. Does eventually get cleaned out though.
Yeah. Good exchange. Benefiting the side of Quadrant. Snipedrone right now trying to head for the hills and get to a little bit of safety, seeking higher ground. And TchiK is also in a little bit of a pickle towards that pipe side, completely isolated from the rest of his squad. We'll have to hold on for as long as humanly possible as Glory does pummel down TchiK, as I mentioned a little bit earlier on, and now NaVi, they're starting to move as a unit, as one. Snipedrone, he needs to get the hell out of there. You cannot stare down 3 separate barrels and live to see another day.
With shots onto Lqgend, Sniper's going to re-challenge, gets a trade. That's a pretty good decision there from Snipedrone to re-challenge, but around him, his team have fallen once again. And if you're NaVi, already losing so many Slayers against Quadrant, being 4 kills down in this game, it's just so tricky to get sort of the heads together and re-challenge and try and get back into this lead.
Yeah, it's much better than what we saw a little bit earlier on Aquarius, which at a certain point we had like a 25-8 score line. It was something really ridiculous, so it's good to see that NaVi, they've been able to put their laurels to rest and they've come back into this one completely fresh-faced. Now hopping on with Glory. Patiently waiting for those shields to come back online, and he does lock horns. He will try to scurry on through, but he does get caught off mid-rotate.
Still a 4-kill lead, Quadrant. SLG just rotating around the map, spots Jimbo. Jimbo backs away. 20 seconds left on that camo. That might be the next catalyst for these players to start moving. Jimbo does get taken out by Lqgend. So, cogs in motion. SLG starts to push up on the map. Gets shot in the back, backs away with his life, playing it. Full red shields, nades come in. He's somehow still alive, and this camo's going to be up any second.
Curious who has the grapple hook, because that would definitely ease in the process of getting that active camo. It will come online right now, and with Jimbo and Mighty being the only two people, now just Mighty being the only person left alive. He actually contests the active camo. It was picked up off of its spawn by SLG, but now it's laying underneath his corpse.
Just said it's cool from the guys from NaVi. Camo's down, so that's no longer on the map. Mighty's though, just trying to find any of the players weak on Quadrant. Can't find anything though. Relocating, maybe back towards his team. Trying to get a different angle towards these Quadrant players. Finds TchiK in his sights, does take him down. Nice shots from him. With a 6-kill lead, he's got to try and play his life as best he can. Lqgend and another player from Quadrant there to take him down. Yeah,
unfortunately, he got crossfired and pinched basically from 2 different directions. While he was preoccupied with TchiK, he left the 6 exposed. Now Lqgend on this Heaven's side will have to probably drop a little bit further down and look for some blue heads to click on. Jimbo patiently waiting on the opposite end of that elevator, and we'll have Lqgend rotate a little bit further up. Yeah, the gap is at 6 kills, but why wouldn't you want to just buddy up and chill out with the rest of the crew?
Long this game goes on, closer those seconds get down to 0. More pressure on the NaVi side right now. Quadrant, they don't need to push. Their 6 kills to the good. They can effectively get squad right without a trade, and they're still going to be in the lead of this game. You can see that with Sica right now. He's going to channel his own hidden reach, but a team Seng and try and hide on the map.
Didn't know this game rebranded into Tarkov, honestly.
It's almost like they're playing S&D in Call of Duty.
True.
Every single death is so valuable between these two teams.
Yeah, mid-game we just happened to disable respawns, and that's why everyone's playing so conservatively.
The shock rifle in the hands of Glory. No one's going to pink for him, so he's going to make the magic happen himself. Camo, though, coming up any second. What a player to get, both for shock rifle and camo it could potentially be. Maybe the Quadrant players will decide to come out of their hidey holes once this camo comes up onto the map. zMightys does take down Sica, somehow finds his spot. Lqgend gets the shot onto... No, so Glory gets a shot onto Lqgend, and now shock rifle and camo. Backquack potentially here for the side of Glory as well. 6 kill lead for Quadrant becomes 4.
Yeah. Silence was deafening just for a little bit, and now Glory, well, he continues to revel in it. He's got a couple of shots left to work with in the shock rifle. 5 totaling up. There will be a little bit of action happening down towards that pipe side. What is zMightys up to? Oh no. Glory, he's been spotted out as well, and he just gets collapsed upon, revealed himself a little bit too early, and that is a crucial mistake.
I like that play from Quadrant, sticking as a 4, knowing camo and shock rifle are somewhere on the map. So if he does reveal himself, he'll get traded out. So now, no longer having any camo, but shock rifle in the hands of Sica, as once again just playing as a 4. It's a great play to do. Just rotate as a squad, because if you get the trade, you win this game.
Indeed. You just have to break even if you're in the shoes of Quadrant right now. Jimbo, don't expose yourself. Sica's got your number.
And once again, dust settles. Quiet on recharge. But all this time, NaVi keep having the team, which have to make the play.
There it is. Sica once again to break the silence, decapitates Glory as zMightys retorts. Jimbo gets a trade, and he will secure that shock rifle yet again. What can he find with it though? A little bit of intel, some feet spot out, but that's not exactly what you want to be hitting with the shock rifle. NaVi 4 kills away from tying up the gap, in Jimbo cutting his losses, heading back towards elevator where it's a little bit safer.
Finally, some action though on the map. Jimbo takes down Lqgend. So a 2-kill game, make that a 1-kill game. Jimbo a huge double kill, 32-31 in favour of Quadrant. Last player left alive from Quadrant has to scramble away with his tail between his legs. Just that, and gets the trade. 1-kill game, camo in favour of Jimbo. Opts of re-challenge, but he doesn't have his shields back. Couldn't get them back. Lqgend with the camo eyes takes him down.
Damn. Lqgend's got some special kind of contacts that he's wearing, because I've never seen this amount of consistency with spotting out camouflage players. It's ridiculous. And that should have been the silver bullet for NaVi, but they've just lost out on 2 players inside of this pipe side. zMightys as well. We'll have to wave goodbye to him, as TchiK will eventually be traded off, but what was just a gap of 2 kills has now been once again expanded all the way to 5.
It took 3 minutes to NaVi to get back into this game and tie this game up, but just like that, flick your fingers and Quadrant retake the lead. 3 points once again, and they can go back to playing their sneaky game that they need to potentially just ride down the time at this point.
We might actually have to start worrying about the clock. 180 seconds left to play, and Jimbo's going to try to get on the aggressive, but he gets shut down. So does zMightys. Jimbo does eventually claim 1 from afar, from the void, from the grave, but still, Quadrant, they are edging their way to getting themselves that belt. Sica lands 2 more. And NaVi tailing by 5. They've got to dig deep to muster up something to claw their way back into this.
It's been such a long series here on the main stage between these 2 teams. They've played some of the best Halo. Here, they've done all LAN, and now only 4 kills separate the 2 squads. But, more importantly, only 8 kills left for Quadrant before they win this game. But also, Tudor, suddenly, time becomes a factor. Just over 2 minutes left in this one. And Quadrant, as we've seen them do multiple times, they back away, they try and play sneaky. SLG, he's cleaned up. zMightys first slay. Now the numbers in favour of Natus Vinter.
Indeed. And he can play off of this so much better. zMightys can take this to new heights, but he's doubting to commit to this play. He eventually will take down TchiK. That's brilliant intel acted upon, but still, they're unable to keep Quadrant at arm's length. 45 kills left in SLG. He's got the active camo. He can sow chaos into the NaVi camp.
What a 1 versus 1 win for SLG. Staying alive with this camo. Now he can just play the intel man. He can just call out, doesn't need to shoot his weapon. Find the perfect spot to collapse onto the NaVi players. Jimbo first to fall. Glory should fall after him as well. zMightys, Snipedrone having to run away from each other as Lqgend and SLG are in pursuit.
There is no way, no shot that NaVi can actively contest this. You've got to win your ones, Mighties, and he eventually does get the job done. Snipedrone and Glories, they keep the dream alive for NaVi. 5 more kills for NaVi. 2 for the French squad on top of that. Snipedrone, where is he? He's out alone all by himself after dark, and he needs to rejoin his mates.
3 kills, the difference between these two teams, but only 50 seconds left in this game. You can see the red names all piled up towards each other. And NaVi know where they are. There's going to be a collapse at one point. There has to be. And it's just waiting for that perfect time. As the seconds tick down, the likelihood of that collapse is going to be more and more. Split across the map, Snipedrone, Jimbo. Jimbo gets the first kill with a shock rifle. Shots onto 2 other players. The collapse coming in. Slay's come through.
No.
3 down. 49-48 in favour of NaVi. 20 seconds left. Respawn coming through for Quadrant. Where they're going to respawn. Shock rifle now in the hands of Jimbo. Working as a unit. Only 1 more kill and they win this grand finals. Sica tries to challenge. TchiK's there as well. Backing away. 10 seconds left. The collapse has got to come through. Red shield for Jimbo. He's getting shot in the back. 49-49. What? Sica gets a kill. 50-49. The collapse was good from Quadrant. 3-2 in our best of 5 finals. Everybody's getting hype here. What a way to win. What a way to win. The grand final reset comes through. 50-49 in our Slayer. And Quadrant, they win Europa Halo Blackpool.
I never thought I would live to see the day that we'd have to settle a match of Slayer on time alone. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, one small mistake, it cost NaVi a trophy at 4v4 by the shore. It's done. Quadrant.
It is done.
Divine intervention has struck.
Wow. I mean, I don't have a voice anymore. I think I'm done.
Yeah, we're both done.
Bout being presented right now by Jersey and Onset on stage. You can jump aboard with them. Look at those 2 glorious men holding a glorious bout as well.
Yeah.
Waiting for Quadrant to come up here and get their trophy. What a way to do it. What a victory there for the French squad. Locking it in with 50-49, 3-2 in the grand finals reset.
Oh! Hey.
Unbelievable. Quadrant maintain their status at the top of EU Halo. And what a way to do it.
Indeed. Clawing their way through that lower bracket final, forcing a reset, and getting it done in all 5 has been one hell of a weekend. 17 maps of Halo played between these 2 teams over the course of just 2 days. The most well-earned victory that they might have just gotten on EU soil.
32 teams started this weekend. The chance to win Europa Halo Blackpool. But only 1 team remains. Quadrant Esports atop the pedestal of European Halo. And they get the bout, they get the bragging rights, and ultimately, they get the victory.
Yeah.